Welcome to Meeple Mentor. I'm Jared, and we are about to play Jungle Cruise adventure game from Disney. Let's take a look. I'll show you how. Feel free to pause the video as needed to follow along with your copy of the game. And for your convenience, I've added chapter timestamps in the description to the different sections of the tutorial. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell below the video so you don't miss any of my latest content. The Jungle Cruise ride is a classic original attraction at Disneyland, also found at the Magic Kingdom in Disney World in Orlando. The ride is famous, beloved, and something Walt Disney helped design himself. Now we have a board game themed around the experience of the Jungle Cruise ride. If you've been on it, you know that you get on a boat with a skipper and follow a river to see various animatronic animals, people, and scenes in this jungle. The whole ride, the skipper will be spouting off jokes and puns, which are often so bad they're great. In this board game, you'll find all of this and more as the story around the Jungle Cruise expands. Players will be telling skipper jokes while racing down the river to deliver passengers and cargo to the company headquarters. Each player has their own boat of passengers to carry and entertain, but not all of them may make it to the end. Each boat will be full of 12 eccentric passengers that have come from all over the world to embark on a journey to the Jungle Navigation Company's headquarters. The president, Alberta Falls, awaits them and is looking to take some time off since she's been living in the jungle her whole life. These explorers belong to one of the 4 families that helped Alberta's grandfather establish the company. Only one of these families will inherit this famous company though. Before I go any further, let's look at how to set up the game. First, you'll want to lay out the game board in the middle of the table. Find the 4 clue tokens and mix them up face down. Then place one on each of the mailbox clue locations on the board. The last one will go at the end of the river track on the headquarters. Separate the outpost tiles by the type of cargo pictured on the front of them. Then create 4 face-down stacks, with one of each type of cargo in each stack. So all 4 stacks will have 3 tiles with the different cargo types. Now place these stacks at each of the 4 cargo stations, which look like tents on the board. Place the coins, which are the tip tokens, face up at the headquarters. Collect all the lost and found tiles and mix them up into a face-down supply near the board. Take all the navigation cards and shuffle them together. Place the deck face down beside the game board. Each player should choose a boat to control from the 4 available. They have no real gameplay difference. Take the plastic boat miniature and the boat sheet. Check out the names of the boats at the bottom. Each player should collect the 12 passenger tiles that correspond to the boat they've chosen. The backs of the passenger tiles show the boat names. Any unused boats and their passenger tiles should return to the game box. Each boat has 4 seating areas on it: the left side, right side, center bench, and back. Or to say it in nautical terms, port, starboard, center, and stern. Within each of these sections is 3 spots for passengers or cargo tiles. Place all of your starting passenger tiles in your boat in any arrangement you like. Give each player a warning flare tile that you can keep near you or put at the front of the boat above the steering wheel. These are placed face up. As a skipper of your boat, you'll have a special ability during the game, as shown on the skipper specialty cards. You have the option to shuffle them and deal a random one to each player, or let players choose them in a clockwise order, starting with the youngest player at the table. Each of the skipper cards breaks the rules of the game in some way to your advantage. You can keep your skipper card face up in front of you. Lastly, everyone should place their boat miniature on the river starting dock space. The player who last told a joke is the first player to start the game. During the game, players will race their boats down the river to deliver both cargo and passengers to headquarters at the end. Along the way, discover clues as to which of the 4 families will be Alberta Falls' choice to inherit the Jungle Navigation Company. The skippers will be rewarded for reaching the headquarters first, for bringing different types of cargo, and for bringing members of Alberta's selected family. The 4 families each have a color and icon that represent them. Each passenger will have one or more of these icons on their tile to show they're part of or related to the family. The blue river icon is for the Denial family. The orange lion head icon is for the Lions family. The green temple icon is for the Temple family, and the brown steering wheel icon is for the Cruise family. Everyone starts with 12 passengers on their boat, with a mix of the 4 families represented. Since there are only 12 spots on the boat, some passengers may have to go overboard before you can take on any cargo. It's only 1 tile per seat. Players will take turn after turn in clockwise order until the game ends. The game will end once all the tips are taken from headquarters at the end of the river. When a boat arrives there, they gain a tip coin. Every turn after arriving, all they do is take 1 tip coin. So the end of the game comes quicker the more players that reach it. A player's turn always goes through the same 4 steps, but the actions available may vary depending on where their boat lands. The first step of the turn is to rearrange your boat. You are allowed to move around your cargo and passenger tiles to whatever spaces you want, as long as each tile occupies a single seat. Since there are dangers ahead, the safest seats are found in the center of the boat. Next, you'll roll the speed die to see how far your boat moves down the river this turn. The speed die has the numbers on it and will be from 1 to 4. You're most likely to roll a 2 or 3. You must move your boat as many spaces forward along the river as what you rolled. You may not choose to go fewer. However, if passing through a clue or outpost location, your boat must stop. Extra movement points are lost. Don't worry about other players' boats. They don't block each other. Multiple players' boats can all occupy a single river space. Should you come to a fork in the river, you must choose which path to take. The shorter paths will get you to headquarters faster, but you may miss important clues and outposts. After moving your boat, you'll always reveal 4 navigation cards from the top of the navigation card deck. You must read each skipper joke found on each of these cards. Telling jokes to your passengers is an important part of being a skipper for the Jungle Navigation Company. Now you encounter the cards drawn. However, you only encounter as many as you rolled on your speed die. So by rolling a 1, you only resolve 1 encounter's effects. If forced to stop your movement at a clue or outpost site, only resolve as many encounters as you actually moved this turn. Choose which encounters you wish to resolve from the number required. The rest are successfully avoided and simply discarded to a discard pile. Some encounters are written out horizontally and are special because they must be chosen first among the 4. If you draw more than 1 of these special encounters, you choose the order to resolve them. Remember, you're only resolving as many cards as you moved this turn. The final step of your turn is to resolve the encounters and take the location action. Resolve the encounters 1 at a time in any order you choose. Each one has a danger rating shown with X's marked. The higher the danger rating, the more likely you are to drop cargo or lose passengers in the jungle. For each X shown in the danger rating, you must roll a peril die. If it's blank, then roll nothing. After rolling, count how many exclamation point icons are rolled. You must lose a cargo tile or passenger tile for each one from your boat, but only from the section of the boat highlighted on the card. If the highlighted section of the boat has no passengers or cargo, then nothing is lost. You can choose which tiles are lost from the boat section indicated. The cargo tiles are lost to the jungle and removed from the game. Just return them to the game box or set them aside until the game's over. When choosing to lose a passenger tile, place them next to the board to make a lost passenger pile. These should be left face up. These passengers will wander around the jungle until someone finds them again. Or not. You may choose to use your warning flare if it's face up to try to scare off a dangerous encounter. After rolling the peril dice for an encounter, you may choose to flip over your flare tile to re-roll all the dice showing an exclamation point icon. You must take the new roll results. After resolving all the navigation cards necessary, place them into the discard pile for them and proceed to take the location action. Let's take a deeper look at these actions possible. No matter where your boat ended up on your turn, you'll have an action to take after the encounters are done. Which action is available is dependent on where your boat is. After doing your action, Play proceeds to the next player clockwise. First, if your boat is in the river at a regular water space with no outpost or clue, you may pick up a lost and found token. However, if during your encounters you lost a passenger this turn, you may not gain a lost and found token. And if you don't have an empty space on your boat, skip the action this turn. Otherwise, draw one of the face-down lost and found tiles. Cargo tiles should immediately be placed on an empty seat of your boat. If you draw a tile that says Found Passenger, then remove the tile from the game and choose one of the lost passengers to the side of the game board to add to your boat. If there are no lost passengers yet, you don't gain anything, and the Found Passenger tile is still removed from the game. When your boat is sitting at one of the 4 outpost locations, first resolve all the encounter cards like normal. After resolving them, you may reload your warning flare by flipping it back to the front side. Next, as long as you have an empty seat on your boat, you may do one of 2 actions. You can take a lost passenger from the side of the board and add them to your boat, or you may look at the outpost cargo tiles here and choose one to keep. Add the cargo to an empty seat on your boat. The tiles at the outposts should remain face down so players don't immediately know which cargo is still available there. Having information brings an advantage. It can affect a player's choice to go to that route or not. By ending your boat at a clue location, your special action is to secretly look at the clue tile and return it face down to its space. These clues will give you an idea as to which family Alberta Falls has chosen to take over the company. Through process of elimination, you'll narrow down which remaining family is the one sitting at headquarters. You'll want to use this information to strategically gain more of that family on your boat before getting to the headquarters. Having the chosen family passengers in your boat when reaching the end of the river will give you more points. When reaching the headquarters space, you're at the end of the river journey and won't move anymore. Extra move points are lost. The first time you arrive, you must still draw navigation cards and resolve encounters like normal. Being the first boat to arrive, the passengers are grateful and give you the most generous tips. As your action, take 1 tip coin from headquarters. Gain the highest point value coin available. Keep it next to your boat for in-game scoring. On future turns, you won't take a normal turn. All you'll do is take a tip coin from the headquarters space until there are no more left. Once a player has reached headquarters, passengers begin tipping the skippers. All players who have a boat there will be taking 1 tip coin each turn, always taking the highest valued coin. Once all the tip coins are removed, the game is over. Alberta Falls will soon announce the temporary caretakers for the company once all the boats have arrived. Move all players' boats to headquarters, skipping everything else on the board. Now it's time to reveal the family on the remaining clue tile. Flip it over for everyone to see. You can now start scoring everyone's points. Each passenger part of the chosen family, known as caretakers, will be worth 5 points each. So count up the passenger tiles in your boat that show the family's icon. Each one gives you 5 points. Any passenger tile from other families are worth 3 points each. The cargo tiles are scored by sets. For each set of 3 different cargo types, you'll gain 10 points. For each set of 2 different cargo tiles, gain 4 points. For each cargo that is not part of a set is only worth 1 point. Each tip coin you've collected is worth the number of points shown on it. The player with the most points is the winner. If there's a tie, the player with the most passengers is the winner. After playing the game a few times, I found that it deserved a few tweaks to the rules to speed up the gameplay and increase some of the strategy. You're welcome to give them a shot. The setup of the game is the same with the same in-game scoring method. The first change is movement. The outposts are no longer mandatory stops. You may choose to stop at them or not. Instead of just rolling the speed die, also roll with it 2 peril dice. For each exclamation point, get 1 extra move point. So you could end up moving up to 6 spaces. Additionally, you may choose to use the warning flare tile to re-roll your speed die. The warning flares can still reload at outposts, should you choose to stop there. The number rolled on the speed die is the number of navigation cards to resolve from the 4 drawn. You choose which encounters to resolve as normal, but only read the jokes to the ones you've picked. Roll the peril dice as normal for each encounter and remove that many tiles from the boat section indicated. However, there's a change in how many tiles can be at each seat. Now, each seat space can hold one passenger and one cargo tile. Think of each person being able to hold one thing, or the cargo box is slid under the seat. This allows you to gain cargo and more tiles during the game without having to sacrifice passengers first. Additionally, when gaining cargo, place them face down on your boat so other players don't know which cargo you're collecting during the game. You can always look at your own, but shouldn't share it with anyone. They'll all flip over at the end of the game for scoring. Some of the location actions are adjusted too to speed up collecting what you need. When at a blank river space, you always draw a lost and found token unless all 12 seats are occupied with passengers and cargo. Remember, now each seat can hold one passenger and one cargo. The outpost has the same two options of taking an outpost token or saving a lost passenger. Now you just don't have to stop there if you don't want to. At the clue sites, you get to peek at the clue tile and draw a lost and found tile. Lastly, if you move your boat onto the same blank river space or outpost as another player, you may attempt to steal cargo. You can't steal at a clue site since players have to stop there. To steal cargo, draw the top navigation card. The targeted area of their boat is the one shown on the card. As long as it has cargo there, you can proceed to try to steal it. Now check the danger rating on the card. The player attempting the steal should roll all the peril dice. If they roll equal to or greater than the number of X's on the card, they get to take one cargo tile. Only one cargo tile can be stolen. Since the cargo tiles are face down, they must choose one randomly and see what they get. They don't have to show any other players and should place it in their boat face down like normal. The only defense against someone stealing your cargo is to fire a flare as a response. You can flip the warning flare tile to stop a successful cargo steal. That's the last change, but I think by implementing these, you'll find the game to be much more replayable once the jokes get stale. I hope you like my suggestions, and let me know in the comments if you've tried them and what you think. Keep the rulebook handy and check BoardGameGeek.com for FAQs and extra content. Check the video description for links to Top Shelf Gamer for token upgrades, Cloud Puncher Games for board game shelving, and Mr. Meeple t-shirts for cool board gaming shirts. The Meeple Mentor channel is now part of the board game community of the Gateway Network, made up of great upcoming board game content creators. It was originally founded by the Gamecasters podcast and now includes Instagrammers, YouTubers, podcasters, artists, and much more. Click the link in the video's description or head over to the Gateway Network's Instagram to find great new content. Thanks for watching this tutorial. Like and subscribe if you found this teaching helpful. Stick around to watch another Learn to Play video. And remember, teach when you can, but always be learning. See you next time.